Thousands of people recently gridlocked the streets of Mexico City. They weren't there for a political protest or a sporting event. They were waiting for a glimpse of a South Korean pop group. Most people in this crowd don't speak Korean, yet they have memorized every lyric. The South Korean government utilizes these artists as official diplomatic envoys. BTS members have addressed the United Nations General Assembly 3 times and visited the White House to meet with the US president. South Korea has weaponized its music, television, and skincare, turning aesthetic appeal into its most profitable and effective economic export. This strategy was born from total devastation. In 1953, the Korean War ended, leaving the country buried under the rubble of bombed factories and collapsed infrastructure. This diagram shows the per capita income of 2 nations at that moment. South Korea stood at $87. India was significantly wealthier, sitting at $122. Unlike resource-rich neighbors, South Korea had no geographic safety net. It lacked oil, it lacked diamonds, and it lacked the massive arable land required to feed a population through agriculture alone. Having nothing to mine from the ground, the nation was forced to manufacture an economic lifeline out of thin air. The transition began with a controversial leader named Park Chung-hee. He instituted a singular, ruthless philosophy to save the economy: export or die. The government provided small local companies with low-interest loans, but there was a condition: they had to compete globally. Businesses that couldn't find international buyers were allowed to collapse. This pressure created the chaebols, massive conglomerates like Samsung and Hyundai. They shifted from selling groceries and noodles to building the world's smartphones and cars. Designing for the globe rather than the neighborhood became the foundational operating system of the entire Korean economy. In 1997, the Asian financial crisis threatened to undo decades of growth. The desperation was so high that millions of South Koreans voluntarily donated their private gold, including wedding rings and medals, to bail out the national treasury. During this crisis, government officials reviewed a report comparing the revenue of entertainment to manufactured goods. It revealed that the Hollywood film Jurassic Park generated more overseas income than exporting 1.5 million Hyundai vehicles. Officials realized entertainment could be exported with industrial efficiency, but at a far lower cost. The government responded by creating the Korea Creative Content Agency and massively expanding the cultural budget to subsidize entertainment startups. 1997 marked the start of a new industrial era, the assembly line for pop culture. Success required high-tech infrastructure. Decades before the Mestable world, the government wired the country with 200 megabit per second internet, making the population entirely digitally native. Major entertainment companies then developed a training system that processed raw talent with the grueling rigor of Olympic athletes. These stars were drilled in singing, dancing, and foreign languages for years before their debut. By 2012, this system produced a global breakthrough. Gangnam Style became the first YouTube video to hit 1 billion views, proving that Korean culture could penetrate the Western mainstream. This creates a flywheel effect. A K-pop fan begins watching K-dramas, which act as covert advertisements for K-beauty products, which ultimately drives a surge in inbound tourism. One export successfully subsidizes the next. India possesses a vast supply of this cultural raw material, from diverse regional cinema to ancient Ayurveda to its world-renowned cuisine. While individual projects occasionally achieve global acclaim, such as an Academy Award for a major Telugu film, these successes remain isolated. India has no central system to turn these moments into a global intellectual property pipeline. This funnel diagram shows the spending gap. South Korea allocates $1.3 billion specifically to export its content. India's cultural budget is opaque and focused almost entirely on domestic maintenance. India owns the world's greatest supply of cultural assets, but lacks the industrial factory required to package and sell them to the world. Leaving a cultural sector unorganized has direct economic consequences. When a nation fails to brand its own heritage, foreign corporations will step in to profit from it. Foreign brands now dominate the global Ayurvedic market, and neighboring countries have attempted to claim the ancient Indus Valley civilization as their own at international expos. This lack of global branding creates a status vacuum at home. Many Indian households are now discarding native languages in favor of English, which has become the primary marker of a developed family. Treating one's own culture with apathy does more than lose export revenue. It guarantees the eventual erasure of that identity. India must adopt the export or die mandate, applying it to its movies, its food, and its historical knowledge. A domestic market alone cannot sustain an economy. If a nation does not export its culture, foreign powers will eventually overwrite it with their own. In the modern global economy, culture is an industry. Nations must either build the machinery to export their own heritage or pay the price to consume someone else's.